stole the four-wheeler. What's wrong with it?
Don't know yet. It's been sitting. So
Probably the carbs need cleaned. Tank.
well, they put another carburetor on it, but the tank is dirty and it doesn't have any gas in it. So I'm gonna have to set my IV up on it. See if it'll crank over. So the carburetor's not even on here. So I think once we snap this carburetor in place, that'll eliminate an air leak that they more than likely have right here on the intake boot. That might be the whole problem with it bogging. So they just put the carburetor on, but you can see how nasty everything looks there. So we'll go ahead and pull the bowl off and inspect it and make sure that yeah, this is sticking. That's all that old gas that's gummed up. So the carburetor looks new from the outside, but it's already in bad shape. This definitely wouldn't run in the condition it's in. We'll get it straight though. So a little bit of background about what we're doing here. A friend of mine, he brought this over to me and asked me to look at it for him to try to get it running. Story behind it is he bought it, it wasn't running, it had sat for a long time, and he had a friend go through it, supposedly changed out the carburetor, cleaned out the fuel tank, and what I've noticed so far is that the fuel tank's still in bad shape. It needs cleaned out a little bit more, and the carburetor, which does look new, it does have bad fuel inside of it, so we're going to have to go through, clean the carburetor. We'll also check the fluids on the engine, make sure that it's got oil, see what kind of condition it's in, see if we need to change it. More than likely we'll just change it anyway. It's got a new air filter on it. We'll put some air filter oil on that and get it all back together and see if we can get this thing to run. Sometimes they just need a little shock. It's the same as using an impact screwdriver, which I don't have anymore. Just in case you guys don't have an impact screwdriver, you can just use a wrench with a Phillips head that you can hit on the back side.
You're out of frame.
And as you can see, the heads look perfect. No damage to them whatsoever. So although this is a brand new carburetor that put in some bad fuel through it, it gummed it up pretty bad really quick. So hopefully you guys can see this. Even the jets look pretty bad. As you can see there, I'm pretty sure that pilot jet at a minimum is going to be clogged, and more than likely that main jet is also clogged. It looks as if it's been sitting for quite a while actually, but you just never know until you get into these things. Yeah, this main jet is certainly clogged. I don't know if that comes into focus there, but you definitely can't run with that. Yeah, and the pilot's clogged as well. Typically, if your main is clogged, your pilot's definitely going to be clogged. It's a much smaller jet. Alright, so earlier I was talking about placing that larger spring here. It actually was not for the choke. It actually went inside the primer housing here. There's actually a smaller spring that's for the choke here. So went ahead and did that off camera, got that spring put back in that primer housing, and everything's working as it should. So I just wanted to let everyone know about that. .3 volts. So this battery charged for about an hour, and then we got an error at the beginning, and then we got an error at the end. So I'm pretty sure that there's at least a few dead cells in this battery. We'll put the battery charger back on it just to get 12 volts and see if we can actually start the thing, but we'll definitely have to replace the battery.
Mom's here. I want to know what she's gonna say. It's not recording.
What do you have there now?
A four-wheeler.
Why?
It was a good deal at a good time.
What do you mean a good deal?
I had some money saved up, and that's what I
No,
bought.
you didn't. You didn't have shit. Did your dad buy that?
I'm telling you, I just bought it. We got a new toy.
You didn't have shit. So don't be lying. Did your dad buy that?
No, he didn't.
So I could go off on him right now.
Me and BJ went half.
Nah, is that broke ass? I don't think so.
Yeah, we just got it running.
Alright, so pulled the petcock off, cleaned it up. Didn't show that on camera, but we've noticed the fuel tank here is pretty nasty, and unfortunately I don't have the any means of disposing any solution I might put in here to clean this rust out. So I'm not going to tackle that. We just knocked as much rust out of it as we could. We're going to put the petcock back on, and what we're going to do for now, so that we don't gum the carburetor back up, we're just going to put a very large inline filter in to capture any of the rust particles that might come out, and I'll give this back to the owner and let him know that he needs to find somebody to clean the fuel tank out, so that he don't have any problems with the carburetor in the future. So that'll pretty much sum it up. We'll get this thing back together and take it for a test drive.
know how to ride this. I've never ridden a four-wheeler before, so this will be a first time.
So offhand, I know it's not running right. It's like losing power. And I think the reason it's losing power is it's losing gas. We can't put a whole lot of gas in there because the tank is leaking,
But it runs.
but it runs.
So I was thinking, is this like you know how your truck is 4x4, for example?
It's all time 4-wheel drive.
So it's all time?